guess we can go and.
Okay. All right, so we got game one here. We are on the red side. We're playing MIT. MIT is on the blue side. MIT has drafted the combo of Maokai, Olaf, Ari, Varus, and Swain. We have drafted Trundle, Jarvan, Diana, Ashe, and Zyra. Their team really wants to fight forward. Their fighting back is really awkward when they're on the back foot running away from us. A lot of their stuff just doesn't work as well. And we have actually a lot of peel and a lot of ways to fight on the front foot ourselves. So I think we won the draft in that sense. We have kill threat in all three lanes with the Trundle against the Maokai, as well as just like the lane dominance of Ashe, Zyra, as well as big potential once they hit 6. We have early game jungler for Jarvan, hard counter to the Olaf once we get into team fighting, and the Diana should be a skill matchup against the Ahri here. Obviously, every range into melee is range favored at first, but eventually it'll turn into a skill matchup once we get towards level 6. Like really once we get towards level 3, then it's evened out a little more. But yeah, so that's what we're looking at. We basically just want to snowball through winning lanes. Basically, we're just saying we're better players than you, so we're just gonna win our 3 lanes with kill threat. Not to say that there's not kill threat on the other side, like mid lane I said is a skill matchup, and they also have kill threat on the bot lane. We're just like team diffing them is essentially what we've handshaked to, and even beyond that, we just kind of have the better comp going into the late game unless they can snowball super duper hard. But yeah, so let us take a look. I missed the first like 12 minutes of this game on the first watch through, so I am interested to see what happened, what I missed. I want that Zyra skin very badly. I have 50 of the points. I just need another 50. So the next 2 passes, if there's a pool party pass, I'll get it off that, and then I'm sure there'll be another one sometime. Hmm? Oh, yes, my bad. There you are, good sir. Discord stream should now be up. Right. You missed the first 50 seconds. Feels bad.
Oof.
Unlucky. Is he gonna start red buff on the Jarvan?
Yes.
I don't know about that one, Chief. Not gonna lie. Unless he's going for a level 3 gank bot lane and he goes buff Gromp in a level 3 gank bot lane.
It doesn't end up with the gank bot lane, but that was the intent.
Ah, okay. I understand. I was gonna say that's the only way that this makes sense.
Yeah. He wanted to come bot. So he goes red, blue, Gromp, and then moves onto the map.
I see, I see. One thing you could have considered doing was going red, ganking mid for the level 2 gank, and then going blue Gromp. You would have accomplished the same thing, plus you would have had another early look on the map with the mid gank. Jarvan level 2 gank is very, very potent, so that's something that you can look for, just like a quick gank. You don't have to commit super hard to it, just walk by EQ, right? That's what I would have done. But and you already know this lever, but I do prefer the E level one on Zyra myself personally, just because I feel like my E has a lot more impact. Like if I hit it, I can hit my E for the root.
I'll do
Try it, see how
it
feels.
level 1 play, if that makes sense. But like with this, where I know we're waiting for levels, I'll go the key level 1 because it has a shorter cooldown basically.
I mean, I will always also step forward to dodge there. dodge out of his eye. But I would always generally just go E, W, Q, 1, 2, 3, personally, just because if I'm going for a level, like the Q is generally pretty hard to hit unless they're, you know, bad. So like I like to just go for like an E play and just take a huge chunk with electrocute that way and get a big chunk that way. Because usually when you're just going for like a long range Q, you don't get the electrocute off. So that's what I like to do, is try and look for a level 2 trade with EW, and then yeah, that just guarantees a safe level 3, and then it doesn't matter once you hit level 3 which one you went first.
So that's what ends up happening with the jungle. I forgot that happened. He ended up double scuttling.
Yeah, which is good. Well done, sir. This Olaf's clear is really bad for an Olaf clear.
Yeah.
It's really weird. It's very inefficient.
Like, I think he's confused because he didn't get the scuttle.
He's really confused that both scuttles are already gone. It's like, bro, you went for the scuttle at 4 minutes. Like, yes, they're both gonna be gone, chief. Alright.
Really,
Tyler
like,
should just smack him top lane.
Like, Olaf could not come in.
Yeah.
Like, just that lean was really good.
Very well done, sir. Very well done. Careful about using your mana. Try and save as much of it as you can in the lane. Especially when you're both low like that, it's really important to save your mana. Because if he saves his mana, then he can look for a play on you. If you save your mana and he doesn't save his, you can go for a play on him. But if you both save your mana, then, you know, you're in the same. But then you both have mana. But it's like it's like a game theory type of deal, where it's like, if he, yeah, you're always better off saving your mana than like queuing a minion. Oh, that's unlucky. That was a good play by him. I think if you needed to just auto him once. Oh, he did die. Okay, good. I was gonna say, if he didn't die, then he was one auto off, and that's unlucky. Oh, flash charm missed. Nice job. Good dodge out on that. You had flash if you needed to as well, so we take this. But yeah, like imagine right now, right? Like if you hadn't queued waves that cost 30 mana, I'm sure you did it like 3 or 4 times since the last time we looked up here. You have like 200 mana right now, and you could potentially look for an all-in play on him. 200 mana gives you most of your combo. You'd be close, but yeah. And he doesn't have any mana to answer with, so he has like 1 Bramble Smash to try and mess you up, but otherwise, yeah. Yeah, like you shouldn't, you have plenty of attack speed, you shouldn't need it to last hit if you set up the last hits properly. Because also if you try to not use it to last hit, that'll teach you to last hit better, because it'll teach you to set up your last hits better. Alright, Dragon has spawned. I would like to see a play in the bot lane, especially since the Varus just flashed aggressively. We can look for a play bot lane into a Dragon take pretty easily. Also, we can just kind of look for it without a play if we just kind of like stack up a wave and crash it in both mid and bot. Like honestly, right now with the Diana crashing the wave, we could have looked for one. Probably, because BNJ can very quickly change his wave, because he has the caster stack, so he can easily push in this wave very quickly if he wanted to. Instead, we go for a play topside, which is fine. Max has full mana. This guy didn't back, so we chunk him out. Nice, good job. You clean up, easy kill. We should look for Herald then instead, so can grab like 2 plays here off of that tower. Jack will go back mid lane, and then the Herald should be spawned. So They're slow pushing into us bot lane. Find the blue buff here. Oh, this TP out of Maokai. She should, yeah. Unlucky. Yeah, the safe play there is just the Herald, especially since we don't know where the Ahri is, and we know that the Maokai still has the teleport. Since you don't, yeah. As we don't know where the Ahri is, the Maokai and the Olaf were missing. We could have, yeah, that's a really risky take on that blue buff without your laners immediately ready to respond. Alright, you can go for play bot side here. We don't quite have 6 on the Ashe. How close are we? Yeah, 1 minion here. So off of this caster. Oh, if Jack had committed to it, he might have been able to look with the ult, but that's okay. Jack didn't have his ult, so that's fine. Trundle now is going to start pulling the Maokai really hard in this matchup. With the Sheen buy, first you're going to want to look for short little trades where you just get like a Sheen proc off, like an auto Q auto walk away type of deal where he can't like clap back with like a grasp and passive. And like wherever he throws that little plant you want to get out of. So just doing the auto Q auto and walk away from that so that damage doesn't get down ensures you win the trades. He did that in this game too. Yeah, their jungler was like disconnecting the entire game, the second game. They didn't even pause a lot of times.
I'm just happy I got the ult off there before I died.
Yeah, which is good. You just have to be careful about your positioning a little better. Jack cleans up the backside, which is really good. Honorable's ult there to take the favorable trade. We should still be able to get this. If you can get that Scuttle Crab to heal up with, you know Ahri and Swain both don't have ultimates, so. Okay, no one's gonna take the Scuttle Crab. We just go back to laning. I would like us to try and put a little more emphasis on objectives early. It's been 10.5 minutes and we haven't, like that was our first look on an objective. It wasn't successful, sadly, but yeah. We're like 11 minutes in. The dragon could have been killed and respawned already and killed again about this time. And no dragons or heralds have fallen, so. This is really good top side. Alright, we'll get our 6s on Ashe and Zyra back about the same time here, so. Alright, just gonna hard commit for that tower, which is fine. Just be careful because you don't have ultimate. You don't know where Olaf is right now. Yeah, if you had stayed any longer, he was gonna turn that back on your head. Honestly, he might have been able. No, the Olaf was committed to his Gromp. Unlucky. That's good. Well done. Good pick. Now shove in this wave and get dragon here. Alright, ult for ult, but you win the HP trade, so that's hype. Oh, come on, guys. That's free dragon right there. That's so free. Okay, I think they should finish this Herald anyways. They've been out on it a long time. Why did it take them so long to take? Right. It's good luck. We have our Trundle showing up on the back end, so you should be able to clean up for a 1 for 3, 1 for 2 at worst at this point. So yeah, 1 for 2. That's good. Just have to be careful of the Ahri here, because I think if Jack gets hit by one charm, he's dead. Yeah. Yeah, we have to make sure we have vision. Or just like kite it up away from the Ahri, where the Ahri could be, because we haven't seen her back on the mid lane yet, so. So yeah, we just have to be more safe. Because that's like the big thing I think I remember from on the night, was just like, we did really good things, and then we were just sloppy and gave them something back. Good sidestep. You probably could have stepped out of that heart, that dot, which would have been really good for you. Also, you back up really far there. Nice, you do get him. Okay. Long lane, this should be a kill. You should get his like frozen domain or whatever it's called back here. Yeah. Ooh, the auto cancels feels bad, man. Alright, that's good though. Well done top side. You're definitely abusing this matchup, which is what you should be doing here. Don't chase him, don't chase him. You don't know where Ahri is, you don't know where their bot lane is. Just go for the dragon. You force his ult out, just go for the dragon here. Okay. If they had wanted to commit harder, they might have been able to find something there with the Varus and the Swain coming back, but good to find the kill. Oh yeah, we've talked about this before, but you can't like, you gotta push out the wave first, sir. Like the wave was all the way back by your tower. You gotta push that out, or have like your jungler come with you, because they can just pop you. Swain do be kind of popping though. But yeah. So like now, if you and B&J went together, you could have done it. Also, another note: 15 minutes, still no objective takes. Like that dragon should have been free after we A, got the Olaf's ult out, and B, killed him. So we definitely want to be looking to play around dragons a little heavier in the future. Alright, we have 5 in the area. We should definitely get the dragon now. Yeah, it just feels like we're playing a little slow for when, especially when we have advantages. Like we have a 3-level lead on our jungler right now. Jack is massive. He's 3-1-1. Your bot lane is just inherently strong. Yeah, you have to be careful about doing that alone. You have to make sure that your team's on the same page. So like going in for that all-in play right there while we're taking the dragon is like not the best idea here. Good to get the Varus, but oh, that flash is unlucky. But yeah, it should end in a 2-for-2, plus we get the dragon. So overall, we trade up here. We might be able to catch the Ahri here as well. Oh, yeah, if you just like throw the root out at her, and yeah, you might be able to kill her with the trundle at that point. Yeah, your options are either to like root or like sidestep it. And in that case, the way she threw it, if you sidestep back into the pit, you probably get it, and then you just throw, or you probably dodge it, and then if you just throw your E down and root her up, you got a plant hitting her, you can drop QWs on her, and the Trundle can frozen domain, pillar her. She didn't have her ult up, so. Okay, so now we lose this just from the super extended fight and not getting back out on the map until a lot later than they did. But that is okay. That is acceptable. Right now we definitely want to end laning phase as quickly as we can, I think. Just because we want to get Jack in that long lane, primarily. So the way we do that is just by kind of like hard forcing on the bot lane and getting the bot tower. So if we just bring 4 or 5 members, like get a push out mid, bring the jungle and the mid laner down, and TP the bot down, and we go for a bot tower dive with 5 people, we just essentially end the laning phase. We get kills, or we get tower, or we get both. And then we can move our Diana into the bot lane, Trundle into top lane, or vice versa, depending on what objective is up next. And bot lane and the mid lane. Because we're at the phase of the game where we want to start looking for picks when we can. And having our bot lane in mid will make that a lot easier with them a lot more centralized. That flash was slightly unnecessary. This is really good look, BNJ. Good job realizing that you needed to go on the Varus there. That's pretty much always the play, right? If they're going for an all-in, hit the closest person until you can go on the ADC. And that's what you did, and it was really close, but he just had more items, so he barely won. This ult is very, very ambitious. I don't think you ever actually get the kill there. So, especially with him having ult up still himself, but yeah. Any questions so far, Leper? Okay. Alright, so we have ended the laning phase. We just forced our Diana into the bot lane. So that's what we want. She's demolishing this tower here. The one thing of note is I do not know about that Diana build you did. I remember watching that, and like, for what I know, Dianas don't go Ludens because you're not like a poke mage, you're an all-in mage. You're essentially an assassin. You're an AP assassin. So like, I know 2 ships passing in the night. That's funny. But I know like most people usually go like, I think it's Roa, Nashor's Tooth, like Hourglass. I do really like this adaptation you did with the oh, you get an Abyssal Mask here, but I still would like maybe question going Roa into Abyssal Mask into Nashor's Tooth, Hourglass, and then like getting like a Death Cap Blast or something, or like maybe a Leandri's or Morello if you need heal cut, but there are multiple other people who should get that before you probably. But yeah, I just don't know about the Ludens here. It just doesn't seem to synergize with the kit and the playstyle you want. Like, if your playstyle is like poke them out with Qs first and then all in, I can get that, but like you have so much damage that you don't really need to poke them out first most often. The only one is like the Ahri, just because she can ult out, so you're never really gonna get your R2 on her, but that's just kind of how that goes. You just go kill everyone else. But yeah, I would think about doing think on the Rod of Ages, because that would make you really tanky too. Like, just think of how much health you would have if you had a Rod of Ages. You'd have like 2,500, close to 3k health. Alright. That's a good look. Right now, we're kind of playing around a dragon that doesn't spawn for 4 minutes. So what we really want to do is just like go into our soft 1-3-1 formation right now and just like push waves, because there's nothing really to do right now except for 1-3-1, push waves, get some items, and do either next dragon or oh yeah, that is very greedy back. Just in general, don't back anywhere that like they can reach. Like, unless you know it's not warded, assume it is and just back. You can still back there if they can't get to you, but yeah, that was way too close to them. Very greedy back, especially with a fed Ari. But yeah. So right now we should be looking to 1-3-1 and looking for a pick on either side lane. Because Ari in a long lane is not the best. Like literally you just show your face and she blows ults, right? As the jungler. Ashe and Zyra have plenty of wave clear for the mid lane, so that is what we should be playing around right now until that dragon spawns. And if we find a play while we're in the 1-3-1, if they overstep and we can capitalize on it, then we can look for the Baron. But yeah. That is my recommendation of the macro play that we should be looking for right now. I said we're just kind of like balling up, giving them pick chances. Yeah, that walk was really greedy, but it was a good bait. You had your team there to follow up. But yeah. Swain, pole is hard to dodge. Feels bad, man.
It's an annoying ability.
Sometimes it feels like the easiest thing in the world to dodge, and sometimes it feels impossible. It's unlucky. Alright, so now we have 2 minutes left on the dragon spawn. We ping it out. How much longer is left on this? Where are you, Mr. Trundle? Minute and a half. Okay. So that will be up for the dragon. So since this play doesn't work here, instead of forcing here with a good chunk of gold on us, like that's a component on our mid laner, we end up able to force here. He barely dies to ignite. BNJ's getting a lot of damage down, but yeah. They just get a free kill. So instead of doing that, that's a component buy on our jungler, on our mid laner, and you can get probably something on. But yeah, support and ADC don't need it as much, and I think you just bought you finished a Spectre's Cowl. We're really lucky this worked, but this is super greedy because now we're looking for really late backs because it's 50 seconds on Dragon. Like this shouldn't have worked, just in general. So ideally, if we were cleaning up the play, that was not a play that we go for. Instead, we take the back sooner. And now we'll be running to Dragon and getting there about when it spawns, because it takes about 20 seconds to get back out on the map with Home Guard. Or 15 to 20 with Home Guard, maybe about like 30 without. 20, 25, 30 without, depending on what tier boots you have, but yeah. So we're getting here right as it spawns. Luckily, they don't get in to set it up at all because we kind of killed them and they have some waves to catch. So we're set up here. Oh, I think I remember this fight. Okay, so we're set up here to take the dragon. This might not be the fight I think it is. Yeah, it's not. Never mind. I'm thinking of a later fight. Unless it somehow happens here. I don't think so, though. But yeah. So we got that, and so now our default should just be back to 1-3-1. Here, while we look for something that, because we can't just like take the Baron, obviously, but we should just 1-3-1 until something happens that we can suddenly take the Baron. So, or until the next dragon spawns. So that's kind of our play right now, and especially with the Baron up, we want to make sure we have the Trundle with the TP bot lane. So just again keeping an eye on lane assignments. This is something everyone on the team can do. Not just like our primary shot callers. Alright, so now there's just gonna be a lot of jockeying around the Baron. Nothing's really gonna happen though. Oh, sorry, I apologize for this yawn. We're just in a little state right now. Yeah, so there's just going to be a lot of bouncing waves, which is what we should be doing, but we should also be pushing mid too, and just chipping away at that inner tower slowly, just from slight minion damage, because they can't suddenly take the dragon, the Baron themselves, especially with the Maokai there. They don't really have someone who wants to be tanking it. So, and if they want to 4-man top lane for this top outer tower, we should just hard commit mid lane and take that mid inner tower. Like, that's a trade we take every day of the week. Top outer for mid inner at 28 minutes. Like, who cares that they got the inner tower, the outer tower at 28 minutes? It's tragic that it took them that long to take it. And that's just from them playing the map poorly themselves. So that is, I don't love that TP, especially because it means you won't have it up for the next dragon that spawns, but it's an acceptable answer, a band-aid answer, since we were late to react to them forcing down top tower. Because we weren't able to save top tower, so it was like we either do that or we do nothing. Also, I don't know why they still haven't like come back to answer us, but this is huge. So this is one of the things that we're looking for to change the fact that we can take Baron. Having an inhib down in the bot lane is something that can change whether or not we can take Baron. So I think this is where you flash E her instead. No, yeah, you just walk up and E her without. Instead, we should just be waiting for the 215 for the dragon to be spawning. Luckily for us, Tyler realizes that the tower is doing a lot of damage and finishes off the tower for us. But yeah, that's just a really awkward fight. Especially because you don't have any minions. Like, I said it earlier, after the first game of the series, but yeah, you like took 2 tower shots before we even started going on the Ahri there. It's much better for us to just push out like 1 or 2 more waves, get it back off, and then look for our Infernal Soul. Also, this is really unlucky. We got to make sure we have vision on this. Like, we don't even suspect this is happening at all. Like, when we're backing out of mid lane there, like they have the Maokai and they have the on-hit Varus. That's all they need to take this. Granted, slow, but if we give them the time like we did, they can. So, like, we just have to make sure we have vision, because we really don't have any vision on the map. We have 3 yellow wards down and we have 1 pink. So we just have to respect that as a possibility after they find a kill onto our jungler. Like, the first thing that we should ask after a fight is if our jungler dead? Yes or no? If the answer is yes, do they have their jungler? Yes or no? If it's yes, then we really want. If it's no, we still have to think about if they can do the objective and look for it. If it's yes and they have a jungler and we don't, we really have to make sure that we know if they're going on an objective, because we don't have a smite and they do. So, all right. If I remember correctly, we are gonna lose. Oh yeah, this is this play. Okay, so this is a really good look here. A really good, like, Diana follow-up. I would just be cautious about saving your ult, because right now we should have identified at this point that the only champion on their team is the Diana. And yeah, also importantly, we are fighting away from our team really hard. Like, our team isn't there to follow up. Like, I just want to watch here. Like, our Zyra's running around, our Ashe is just standing there. Like, if you just throw the ult and walk around to join them, you'd be better off. But yeah, Ashe has like no impact in this fight just because of where we took it. Also, if you had walked around, the fight might have gone different, obviously. But yeah, you throw like 2 Ws and an ult and you get no autos off. So, like, if you walk around, you might still be able to scrap it out just because of how strong you are. But we don't. So that is just very ambitious to make, unless we're like insta-popping someone and getting out. We don't want an extended fight there because we don't have all of our tools there. I remember watching the game. This is when I was really scared that we might lose it.
Glad we can scare you to thinking that we will lose.
Alright. Their Baron is down in 1 minute here. And our Soul is back up again in 4. So the Baron and the Soul will spawn at the same time. So we have to decide which one we want to prioritize. I would always say prioritize the Soul. Even when it's like one of the lower tier souls, we still would like to prioritize that over the Baron, just because permanent buff versus temporary buff. Unless we are hard convinced we end with that Baron, and there's no way that we don't, then we can look for it. But otherwise, this is really good pick, by the way. Yeah, this was huge. Like, seeing all of them top lane, this is just free dive right here. So, well done. Good look to find that, especially because that's their Fed member, and the death timers are long now, so we just end the game here. That was unlucky. Yeah, alright. Good stuff. But yeah, so for this game, the main things I saw was making sure we're playing around objectives, especially early. No objective, like we tried to take the dragon once at like 11.5 minutes. We tried to take the herald at like 15 minutes. Those were the first 2 times either objective were attempted by either team. So we just want to make sure we're playing around objectives a little better early and just in general, and letting objectives kind of determine A, our lane assignments, and B, just kind of the plays we look for. Because that was another huge thing I saw, was just like lane assignments were not always on point. Like we had a very extended laning phase when we want to start looking for, like if we can, we want to decide the way that the game goes. Because if we end laning phase and swap our mid lane or to bot and our bot duo to mid, they'll match it. They will have to match it. Otherwise, we have threat on the mid tower. So if we can make that swap when we want to, it's kind of like the same idea of going for a really heavy trade in your lane when you have the gold to back for an item, just to force both parties to back. It's the same idea, same concept of like, if you can control the flow of the game, the way that the game is going, then you should be in the driver's seat and you should be in a good position to win the game, just in general, from being the one making plays on and taking fights on your terms. So that's what I'd like to see us do, is just kind of identify what we want to do. Like, we hit our point, we hit like level 6 on the bot lane. Our Diana was starting to get strong, our Trundle was starting to get strong. He was having a really good time in the top lane. Diana was having a good time in the mid lane, but more importantly, our Diana was having a really good time roaming to the side lanes as well. So if we just play around that a little bit better and objectives a little bit better, we'll have a lot cleaner closeouts. Again, as well as just kind of like playing clean on vision and playing together. We also gave up a lot of sloppy kills, especially a lot of kills like at the tail end of fights or like right after a fight ended, that gave them a lot more of a chance in this game than they should have had. Because we played the game a lot better than they did, just in general. But they did scrap together, some semblance of a game, just from the fact that they were finding picks on the back end, kind of like evening up. Like, the kills were 24-6 at the end of the day. So yeah, that's what I got for game 1. Leper, you got anything? Any questions, comments, concerns? Hmm?
No.
You're kind of just cutting out. But I think I heard it now. So, I'm gonna cut the recording for game 1 and we'll get into game 2.